Hi, Zizaran here with another League starter for 3.26, and this is Helmbreaker's Zoomancer. So it is a full minion zoo build. If you like minions, this is probably the starter for you. This is a great mapper with a huge focus on just very quickly getting up, getting all your stones, and you should also be able to do tier 17s on this to unlock your full atlas. So it's a really great starter, and it is incredibly detailed. But first, let's hear from Helmbreaker what changed from this build from the last patch.
Chaos Golem was nerfed, so that was swapped out for a Stone Golem of Safeguarding, since that provides you melee damage reduction. And then I had to remove Holy Relic, because I want to support the Safeguarding Golem with extra minion life, since it has a less maximum life modifier. So that is one of the main changes. So the main point of the build is you shield charge into a pack of enemies, then you convocate, and convocate brings all your minions on top of you. That way you get your AG, specters, and zombies right on top of you, and they just basically instantly kill most of the enemies, especially if you have Asenaths. As soon as the AG hits something and the minions kill it, and then everything just explodes. So you basically shield charge from pack to pack, and they explode as you move along. And then you use Despair Curse on bosses or rares that are tanky, and then you summon skeletons as well. But you only need to basically summon skeletons on rares and bosses.
Okay, would you say that this is a pretty easy build to play then?
Yeah, it's very new player friendly, I would say.
So for this build, for the bandits, you kill them all for the skill point, and the Pantheon is Major God Lunaris, because we're already getting freeze immune from Purity of Elements, and the Minor God is Shakari.
One thing that's good to know is that when you're fighting bosses, you need to run on top of them and convocate, just like the packs, because your minions can body block each other, which means you'll do reduced damage, because not all minions can attack the same target. So you run on top of bosses, convocate, summon skeletons, and then basically most of your minions can attack them.
So for this build, we're using Path of Building. It is super necessary to follow along all the changes, and as you can see here, Helmbreaker put a ton of effort, and it is even more than what it looks like, because there are actually two POBs, because there's so many minions and the calculations start lagging. There is actually a separate POB for the late game version. So you can see here, very step by step for early, so it's easy not to get lost while leveling. Same with the skill sets and everything as well. You have like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 onwards, and that way you don't end up with any spare minion gems or any gems that you don't need. So make sure you're following along with the loadouts as well. These will sync your tree, your items, and your skills. And as you can see, he's put so much effort into this build. It's very easy to follow. And what's good about this build is that, as you can see, there's no crazy required uniques at the start. Bones of Uller is fairly common, and everything is very, very like bare minimum what you need to get started. So this also works really good for solo self-found. It is going to really do exceptionally well in trade too, because there are some rare things in the late game that would benefit you a lot. So we have a lot of different item setups here. Walk me through a little bit, Helmbreaker, like Svalin versus no Svalin, and just some of the most impactful uniques for the build.
Svalin is a massive defensive layer, but we don't know how rare it's going to be. Is it going to be as common as last league, or will it be less common? So I added a no Svalin option. This option has less block chance, but you get more damage, you get more minion survivability. And then there's the Svalin option, which adds a massive amount of block chance, just increases your effective hit pool by a lot.
Yeah.
And then when you get the Hungry Loop, it takes a bit time since you need to level the gems and have the ring eat them. You get a new config where you adjust the skill gems a bit. After that, you try to aim for the mid setup. And then in the mid setup without a mana moose, you have the Fortress Covenant. It's a more common and cheap unique. that adds a decent amount of damage, but you replace it later with a mana move because it's just a lot better.
Yeah, and for those that don't know how the Hungry Loop works, the way it works is that you get a gem to level 19 and about to level to 20, and while it is inside the Hungry Loop, you click to level up on the gem, and the Hungry Loop will consume it, and then it'll say socketed gems are supported by level 20 Feeding Frenzy. So you could level them in your offhand till they're about to be ready to hit level 20, then put them in the ring. So, Helmbreaker, Animate Guardian is changing this season, and we're gonna have Mercenaries. How do you think that's gonna impact the build?
The build will still use Animate Guardian, and I have prepared 3 setups with sheep gear. Like, first you start off with without Asenath gloves, because that can be quite expensive the first few days, but then when you get Asenath gloves on your AG, your clear speed is gonna improve significantly because he will explode everything. And then in the mid-gear setup, you get a double curse Asenath, which allows you to enfeeble enemies so you take reduced damage.
So one thing that's very easy to mess up on this build if you're not familiar with minions is that their health is also tied to the gem level. So if you're buying a level 1 anything for your build, it's going to just fall over. So make sure that you're trying to get a already leveled gem if you're switching over. And honestly, like buying gems on the trade site, like if you can already get to level 20 gem, is really good. Obviously that won't be available on day 1, but they do get available pretty quickly. Another thing that's great for those of you that like following written guides is that Helmbreaker has a super detailed minion build on Max Roll. So make sure you check that out. He's league starting this himself as well, and this is a build that will give very regular updates. And here you can see things like additional build info, additional leveling info and progression, as well as frequently asked questions. So if you really want a little bit extra hand-holding, head over to Max Roll and they've got you covered there. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed these collabs. Make sure you check out Helmbreaker on Max Roll. Does amazing guides, super detailed, and just a really good creator all along. I used to play Darkfall with me back in the day. But there you have it. Go give him some love. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.